All right, you guys, welcome to our Team Everest call. It is, I always have to look at the date. It is December 8th, isn't it? 8th. Wow. I still haven't changed my calendar. It still says November. Wow, how fast time is flying, you know? But I'm excited because this time of year my dog, Winter, get down. Sorry. This time of year can be very helpful for our businesses and for our own personal journeys. It can be a really great stepping stone, or it can be a roadblock, right? It can be one of those two things, and it's all to how we handle it and what we do during these next couple of weeks. And so I have continued to do these calls because I feel like even if we're not doing a lot, we can be creating some momentum that will really build toward January in a way that you may not see right now. But if you were to stop and completely ignore everything right now and then try to start up, it would feel so much harder in January. It really would. We all think that fresh start is what we want. We want that January 1st, right? Like we just want that. But really, what changes? Right? It's like somebody having weight loss surgery. You know, that fresh start isn't going to help if we're not creating habits around it, right? Things will always go back to the way they were. So what I wanted to talk to you about tonight is something that Jenny calls the power of the post. And we've talked about this a little bit before, but I don't think we can ever get enough of this. I really believe that this is key to us growing on social media. And most of us are putting the majority of our effort in growing our business on social media. That's why I love this business so much. I am a stay-at-home mom, even though all my kids are in school now. I choose to be at home, and I choose to work from home so that when my kids come home, I can turn it off and be with them. So I have to learn, just like I think all of you at some point need to learn how to work the business on social media. So we're really going to talk tonight about two main things. The first is going to be about branding yourself. So I'm going to ask you some really key questions that I want you to write down and really think about. And then I'm going to give you your assignment now. I want you to share your answers to these questions by Thursday. Okay? So I'm going to give you the questions this evening. And then I will create a post so that you guys can actually write under that post all together. But I want you to answer those questions on our Team Everest page by Thursday evening. Okay, so you've got 2 full days to do that. Okay, and then a little bit more. So we're going to talk about branding, and then we're going to talk about how to craft Facebook posts, all right, in a way that you are going to be able to really get some traction from it. Okay, so the top tips you're going to be able to take away is that you must emotionally connect. We must offer value, and we must be consistent. If you take anything away from tonight, it's those 3 things. We must emotionally connect, offer value, and be consistent. Okay? Now, we have a spectrum of coaches here, starting from being a new coach. And at the beginning, you may find that as you're starting to post about health and wellness and fitness and your journey, you may be one of those people that hears crickets, meaning nothing, meaning nobody's liking your post, nobody's commenting. And you might feel like nobody likes what you're doing, nobody's supporting you, nobody's watching. Okay? You might feel like that, and that's normal. It's okay. So here, you want to get really good at giving more what we call jabs than hooks. That terminology comes from the book Jab, 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 Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. He wrote another book called Crush It, and I have both those books. They're great books about social media. What he means by jabs is offering value without actually requesting something back from them. So your jabs are sharing about your journey, maybe sharing some recipes, giving some tips of what works for you, just adding value to people. And then your hooks would be, say, a general invitation to something, to a challenge group, or to a sneak peek, coaching sneak peek, or a free group. Okay. So your hooks are sort of asking them for something in return to participate with you. All right. So in the beginning, you really want to get good at more jabbing and less hooks, because really when you see a lot of network marketers and they're new to the business, and a lot of other companies, they are really constantly given hooks, right? Buy from me. I'm awesome. This product's amazing. Buy from me. That's all you get. And what happens is you turn them off. You shut them down. You just avoid them, right? And we don't want that. Then you hit the middle of your learning phase where you start to get faithful fans, all right? And you're going to have people who like everything that you do, right? They're just there. They love you. They want to support you, and they love hearing from you. Then your success really starts to bloom. And then you start to get, believe it or not, more haters in exchange for more fans. So when you start getting haters, you know you're getting some success. And that's okay. Trust me, because you think at first, you think, oh my goodness, people are hating me or unliking my page. You ever freak out when you get an unlike from your like page? I used to totally freak out about that. But then I realized that's a good thing, because what it means is I'm creating a brand and someone is not connecting with that brand. And that's good. It means that I'm starting to define myself more, and I will not be everything to everyone, and neither will you. And that's okay. Right? So we're defining ourselves, but you will continue to grow your fan base, but with more fans that are more like you. And that's the goal, right? Okay. So then by the end, people are just living for your health related posts. They're living for that because that's what they know you for. They love your value. They want to hear from you. So then you can be going hook, jab, because they love you already. They know what you offer, and you can offer those things to them and they will engage. Okay. So you'll see that full circle, that growth happen, but it doesn't happen right away. And it doesn't happen over time without consistent posting and growth. Okay. This is what we're going to talk about. So when crafting a Facebook post, consider these things. Okay. Write this down. Who are you talking to? Now, in our Coach Basics, our Rockin' the Basics, we've talked about an avatar, an avatar, right? Having someone that you in your mind are specifically speaking to. It can be a real person. It can be someone that you've created in your mind, but you're talking to one person, not, hey, y'all, or have you guys all ever? No, it's like you. Have you considered this? It's like you're talking to one person. And think details so that when you're speaking to them on Facebook, when you're posting, you want them to think, I feel like you're talking to me. That's the reaction you want them to feel when you're talking to your niche market, to your target audience, that one person. Number 2, is it a good time to be posting? How do you determine that? A good way is to look at how many people are on live, and you can do that on your little chat option on the bottom right corner. You can turn on the chat momentarily. I don't keep it on because it's hard to work if people are writing you and they know you're on, and if you need to be focused, but you can look real quickly to see how many people are on live. So if about 150, 175 people are on live, I think that's generally a good time to post, but you can play with that. Play with the numbers and what gives you good feedback after you've posted, determining by how many people are on chat. Okay. An example of generally a really good time to post is Sunday nights. A lot of people are on social media on Sunday evening, and it's a great time to post about a success story, whether yours or somebody you're working with or somebody in our team, perhaps some before and after pictures or anything that you really want people to hear about. Whether it's an invitation to a challenge group, anything that we're putting out there that's really you want to be seen, Sunday nights is a great time. But you need to play with that for yourself and see and track what's a good time for you and your audience. What is the ultimate, this is number 3, what is the ultimate message you want the person to receive? Is it to join a challenge group? Is it for them to ask you about Shakeology? Is it to simply just add value and encourage that person? Okay, so what's your ultimate message? So this is something you want to consider. This is a quote by Michelle Myers. Connect with a person's internal struggle versus their external struggle. So if I could give you one word to summarize that sentence, it's feelings. How did you feel? Or how are you feeling right now during your struggle? That's what people connect with. Saying, oh, do you want to lose 20 pounds? That may or may not be something that connects with someone. But if you say, I feel so defeated that I can't fit into my jeans that I wore this summer, just as an example, okay? Like you're actually sharing how you feel, connecting with how they might feel about a certain struggle and not just giving out numbers and facts, okay? All right, so I'm going to give you a little miniature branding workshop, okay? So I'm going to give you some questions, and these are what I want you to answer by Thursday evening, okay? So this is a self-assessment, and this is vital to you figuring this out for yourself, okay? This tells us who we are. All right, number 1, what 3 topics are you asked about the most? Now, again, if you're new to Beachbody, that's okay. This might be a little bit harder, but everything that you're about isn't just Beachbody. You're not just branding yourself, and I hope you're not branding yourself as a Beachbody coach. You need to be more than that, okay? So even if you're new to Beachbody, that's okay. Think about other things people talk to you about. Number 2, what do you hope is said about you? What do you hope is said about you? Number 3, what message getting out means more to you than anything? I'll repeat that. What message getting out means more to you than anything? Number 4, list your top 3 priorities in order. So number 1 is your biggest priority in your life, and give us the top 3, okay? Number 5, list 3 adjectives that describe your personality. 3 adjectives that describe your personality. Two more. Number 6, list your biggest interests, or list your top, your highest interests, things you really enjoy doing. And finally, number 7, list 3 life experiences. It's kind of like your story. Doesn't have to be necessarily weight related, but just 3 big life experiences, things you've gone through in your life. Okay, so once you've done that, that's what I want to see from you guys by Thursday evening on our team page. Then what you're going to start doing is connect your personal brand with what this business has to offer. So you're going to start slowly making the connection between who you are and what this business has to offer others, what it's doing for you, and putting that out there. Okay, sharing what Beachbody has done for you. Okay, now, here's an example post. This is one of the things I was talking about. You may not necessarily be able to write these down. These are some posts that you may want me to write later, but just listen and see if you can feel what I'm saying here. So if you were going to write a hook post, meaning you want to offer something, all right, you want to invite them to a challenge group. So say, for example, you want to invite someone to an upcoming 21-day fix challenge group, okay? Just as an example, could be any group. First, you need to assess those questions we talked about earlier. Number 1, who are we talking to? So let's say we're talking to beginners to fitness. people who have had a million reasons why they cannot work out, and they've been doing it for years. They've been making excuses for years. People who are easily intimidated, people who need our help and coaching more than anything else. And they are not self-motivated individuals, because if they were, they'd already be working out, right? So they're not self-motivated, beginners, easily intimidated, really need the coaching accountability aspect more than anything, okay? So that's who we're talking to. Now, who fits this description? I want you to sort of think, as an example, and you can even do this now, think of someone who might fit that description. Picture them, and as you're writing the post, that's the person you're thinking of, okay? Like you're physically writing to them individually. Okay, sorry, my dogs are playing chase behind me. Quit that. Number 2, is it a good time to post? Okay, so we're thinking about all these things we talked about. If no, you can write the post and save it for later. Or you can just simply plan to post, to post it again. If you post and you don't get a lot of activity, you can delete it and post again later. Okay, so you have the option there. Number 3, what is the ultimate message I want people to receive? So I'm human and I care about them. That's what you want them to know. I want them to reach out to me and ask for help, and that I have an option for them that perfectly fits where they are. All right? That's the message I want to get out there, that I care, that I'm not after the almighty dollar, that they aren't just a number, but that I want to help them, that I've been there and I'm human and I'm not perfect and I want to help them. Okay? So those 3 things are answered. Okay? Now, here's a sample post of what not to write. I'm going to read this, and I want you to think about, what are some of the things that weren't good there? Okay? So this will be fun. Okay. So there's this new program that just came out Tuesday. We're just going to say it's new, okay? Just came out Tuesday, and it's awesome. It's intended for beginners to fitness, so anyone can do it. I'm forming a challenge group of people doing it. If you're interested, message me. Okay? So, and you could have even mentioned, you could have said Master Hammer and Chisel. You could have said 21 Day Fix, P90, whatever. Okay? Just insert program name. Now, what was wrong with that post?
There are no feelings to it. There's no connection.
Yep, that's one. Anything else? There's several.
It was just kind of out there, like they were inviting everyone. It wasn't to someone's, specifically.
Right. Yep. What else? Think about this. When I wrote, it's intended for beginners to fitness, do you think the person sitting on the couch is actually thinking, oh, they're talking to me? I'm a beginner to fitness. Probably not, right? Even though we're like, hello, they're probably not thinking that, right? They're not going, oh, she's talking to me. And then challenge group, that's Beachbody lingo. Unless your brand is built around that term and people know that what that is in your world, oftentimes a better terminology, and I'm sometimes guilty of this, so this isn't necessarily me saying it. I've made mistakes too, right? And it's okay. That's how we learn. But saying something like a Facebook accountability group, or saying, I'm forming an online accountability group or support group, whatever your terminology is, it explains more to the lay person who's not in the Beachbody realm what that is, okay? So explaining a little bit more specifically what we're talking about. And then if you're interested, message me. I've written it before, and I think a lot of network marketing, it's the most generally used way, call to action, and it's still not super specific. Like, message me about what exactly, right? So here's an example of what might be better, okay? So first of all, you do want to make sure you include a photo or a video. Okay, that's always super helpful. And then spacing needs to be really clean. Spacing of a post is crucial. I will tell you, I hate reading. I hate it. And if I see a massive paragraph, I will not read the post. I just won't. I lose interest after the first sentence. And so this speaks to me. So you will notice a lot with my posts, they're long, but they're spaced out, like sentence, word, 2 sentences, quick bullet points, like they're really spaced out with some emojis, because the chances of your post being read fully when it's spaced out and clean is a lot higher than one big chunk paragraph. Okay? It just is. Our eyes we're like ADD, and we all just tend to want to see it quick, and you can read a lot faster if it's quick sentences, spaced out. Okay?
How about, Geraldine, how about making a post that is not that long and it can fit on at least on the phone screen? Because if it's a long post, it's not going to be read, even if it's nicely spaced.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I still think it's a lot better from the different things I've seen and what people will read. If it's still a chunk paragraph, chances are it's going to be less than if it's really like short, quick sentences. Now you can, I'm not saying you can't write a short post. If you can say what you want to say in a short post, go for it. That's fine. But again, if I see a post that's a paragraph, I just won't read it. And it's not just me. This is what I'm getting from other social media experts, that spacing it out real short is so much easier to just quickly whip your finger and you'll read it a lot faster than if it's a big, thick paragraph. But just play with it, okay? I'm not saying that this is like hard and fast. Play with it and see what kind of engagement you get with different types of posts. Okay, so for example, this is just to give you a little bit, and this is sort of more of my personal story, and I wrote this very quickly, but so here's an example. It's so easy to be scared. The first time, and then space. Again, this is where you'd need to see it, right, as opposed to hearing it. But the first time I did Turbo Jam, I was over 210 pounds and absolutely scared to death. I laced up my old sneakers, filled up a glass of water, and huffed and puffed my way through the first 15 minutes and watched the rest. That was the first time I ever did Turbo, okay? I found myself embarrassed at how big I had let myself become. I hated being so winded. I hated feeling my belly shake, and I hated my body. So trust me when I say I know where you are. Lucky for me, I now have a tool in my toolbox that can work for you, that you will enjoy doing, that will start your fitness journey, and that will give you amazing results. Now keep in mind, this is very short, right? Short little sentences. And it's called whatever you want to call it, right? Like you can put in any term, any workout program, whatever. And it's either brand new or it's proven to get great results. I've gotten these results, whatever. So you can put in your personal thing. I'm privately coaching a group of individuals who will be doing X workout, whatever workout, and taking the first step to getting healthy. I hope it will be you. It's not easy to say you're scared, but know this, I've always got your back, or I'll always be there for you. Message me to chat. So, a little bit of a different spin, isn't it? It's not as salesy at all. It's very much explaining what it is. It's sharing part of who you are. And in doing that, you're not only being vulnerable, but you're also hopefully tugging at heartstrings of your target market, of someone who will relate to that. Will there be people who will relate to that? No, but that's okay. You're not everything to everyone. So do you see the difference there? It's a longer post, but I guarantee you'll get more traction, more engagement from that than you will the first one. Make sense? Does that sound good? Okay. So again, a little point here. Don't be afraid to get vulnerable. And Sigmund Freud said this, out of our vulnerabilities will come our strength. All right. So I could give you, I don't have any pictures again on the screen, but some examples of some really great pictures. And of course your post would go with it. But before and after pictures are great, but they're even better when it's different. Like instead of just standing there like the prison pose, like maybe your after picture being like like fun, you know what I mean? Or showing the guns or whatever, like showing happy, confident. All right. That's really good. What? Night, honey, I love you. And then of course, showing before Beachbody, that internal struggle, and then after Beachbody, again, it doesn't have to be a bra post, right? You don't have to be in your skivvies, right? You can literally just be showing confidence, you don't have to be underdressed to show a before and after, because a lot of times that internal development in that after picture shows confidence, shows happiness, shows self-acceptance that maybe the before picture very plainly doesn't show. And it doesn't, and it doesn't have to be like even before 21 Day Fix and after. If you've done several Beachbody programs, it can be a picture of you way before Beachbody and a picture of you now. You know what I mean? Just kind of sharing some of your story. Sharing a picture of maybe Shakeology that your kids drew, one post that I've seen that was really neat was somebody sharing a little clip of their son's homework where it was it was in their health. It was, oh, there we go. We got Amanda back. Where it was in their health assignment, right? And they were asking about healthy foods, like you need to eat more of blank foods. And their son wrote Shakeology. Like legitimately, that was his answer. So being able to include your kids in your story, right? In your pictures is fun. Maybe you, part of your brand might be recipes, cooking, maybe doing short little videos, all right, is great. Maybe it could be part of your brand is always sharing a pic with some text over it, with some really powerful, instead of just going out there and grabbing a stock picture, something maybe you like the comment or the text and you put it over a picture of you. All right. And then what's always fun is bold expressions. Like instead of just the typical little, selfie, like with the little half smile kind of thing, like doing a crazy, like kind of picture, like that will get a reaction, right? Those shell shocker faces, maybe with the new workout program coming out or something like that. Be fun, be yourself, but don't be afraid to be bold, because those pictures will cause people to stop scrolling and check out why your tongue's hanging out or why your eyeballs are popping out of your head or whatever, right? Be fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. So as I wrap up, okay, here are some do's, things you want to do, okay? So this is where I would definitely take notes again. Do, if you post video, post directly to Facebook, okay? Don't post a YouTube video because it will, chances are just logistically it won't get seen, okay? Post the video directly to Facebook. Number 2, post photos of yourself. Don't be afraid, and this is, I've had to get out of my own way with this one the last few months, but I have. I post pictures without makeup, hair slicked back. Just is what it is, right? And you just get used to that. But that's really a good thing. Make sure, number 3, make sure you read your post before you post it. Okay, make sure it makes sense. Make sure there's, no crazy typos and you didn't type something obscene on accident or autocorrect. Number 4, delete it if it doesn't go over well. So if it's a good post and you really do like it, but it doesn't get any traction, delete it and post it again later. Okay, you can reuse that content. It used to be you could highlight your posts. They've taken that away recently, so now you can't highlight posts anymore, so won't worry about that. Incorporate appropriate spacing. Okay, we talked about that. That's number 5. Number 6, put invitations out there more than once, but not back to back. So if you're inviting to a challenge group, say for Monday, you want to put invitations out, but don't put them like Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Tuesday morning. Spread them out a little bit and change the time of day, because you're going to hit different people with different times of day. All right. Here are your don'ts. Number 1, don't post your Beachbody website URL ever. Again, we're not trying to sell. We're not saying, here, check this out, buy from me. No, we want to engage with people. We want to talk to them, figure out their why, figure out their struggle, and honestly try to help them, not just sell to them. So you don't ever post your Beachbody website on a post. That's something separate when someone tells you, I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay. Number 2, don't ever copy other people's posts. Can you get ideas? Absolutely. But make them your own. Do not copy their texts. Okay. Don't brand yourself solely a Beachbody coach. Christine Dwyer, one of, Platinum Presenters, basically the founder, multi-million-dollar coach. Apparently at Platinum Edge, she not once called herself a Beachbody coach. Not once. Is she? Yes. Very successful one, but that's not her brand. So yes, we want people to know those are the products that are part of our arsenal, but that's not all you are. Okay. So that's part of going back to the branding. Okay. Don't post anything negative or not in agreement with your brand. So for me, I am not going to post pictures of me in a bikini. Even if I was telling this to Amanda, even if I had a body like Autumn, I would not post like that. Why? Because I'm more modest. That's not my brand. Some people do, and that's fine. That's their brand. It's not my brand. So if you have a headache, Facebook doesn't need to know about it, right? You don't want to be negative, okay? Not saying that everything's, like I like to say, rainbows and unicorns. You can be real, but it's not about complaining, right? You always want to come from the other end. If you are dealing with something, always wait till you have something to share on how you're getting through it to provide inspiration and not negativity, okay? Don't post someone else's photo without their approval, okay? Whether it's using someone else's photography or maybe a testimonial, you don't want to post a challenger or a coach's before and after picture without their approval. If they're a little hesitant, ask if you can crop their head off. I know that sounds funny, but maybe they wouldn't mind you sharing, a story without using their name or putting their head on there. They might be a little more okay with it, but never post it without their approval. Next one, never copy the same post from your personal page to your like page. Again, because chances are people following you on both places are just going to get double content. So what you really want to do is make sure that you tag your picture, and I can show you how to do that again later, but you can tag your picture on your like page so that it comes up on your profile page. That way they're going through your like page. And then, of course, don't neglect comments. Make sure that you're commenting with people. And, of course, if somebody posts something negative on your page, that's your storefront, that's your business, you can always delete it. Okay, you're in full control of that. So last but not least, some final thoughts. There is power in sharing your story. Okay, start with one true statement. And you might have several true statements about you, things you've gone through. Connect your story with the internal struggle that someone else might be going through. Think details. Make the potential customer the hero of your story. Make sure they understand when you're sharing your story, it's not about you wanting pats on the back. It's not about you bragging. It's about you encouraging and inspiring others, and you're being vulnerable. Let them know that the reason you're there to do that is to help them. It's all about them, not about you. Okay, you're just a vehicle. And be willing, to share some transformation. Transformation Tuesday is a hashtag that's used a lot. So you might get a lot of traction with that on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. But again, when you're sharing your story, always do it in a different way and maybe even sharing a different part of your story so that every week, at least a couple times a week, your people are getting to know you and where you're coming from. Okay. So again, as you're writing, try to use good writing, no slang, not like you're texting. Think very detailed. And again, just reiterating, start with one true statement that's when someone reads it, it hits them right here. And then start to develop a little bit what you're talking about. Okay. Using that clear text like we shared. Okay. We have like 2 minutes. Does anyone have a question? I know I threw a lot of info at you. Is there anything that you have a question about? No? That like hit it in a nutshell? All
Not
right.
now, maybe when we start answering the questions.
Yeah, when you start doing it, absolutely. Let's share. Feel free to write on our page, our Team Everest page, as you're writing posts. If you want, like say, hey guys, give me some feedback on this. How can I improve this before I post? By all means, do it. That's what that page is there for. Okay, it's for all of us. So we're going to be shut off here in 1 minute. So I am going to let you guys go. And then don't forget to answer those questions by Thursday evening on our page. And I look forward to seeing what you guys share. And I'll share mine too. So, all right, you guys, thanks for being on. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.